Hello there guys, and welcome back to our car modeling tutorial. And today in this episode we're going to continue around the rear end here. We've got our bumper we started to work on, and then we have our parking sensors that we're getting ready to drop in. We also have the area up here. We do have another cutout that I missed, that runs all the way around here because this section here is in carbon fibre, so we want to think about that too. But one thing that I did in between episodes was I just cleaned this area a little bit. And what I did was I just removed the edge that we added in to run in here to show that up, because I don't think it actually needs it. And I just cleaned up this area here just to make sure that it was looking good. One thing I did notice is because of these areas that we've added for our parking sensors and the extra lines here, it's not looking too smooth anymore. So if I hit 3 here, we can see that it's a little bit on the jagged side. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some edge loops in between. And let's maybe just add a single loop in here, and then with that loop what I'm going to do is obviously we need to think about the one underneath as well. So let's go down here and we'll add a loop in the same spot like so, and then I'm just going to grab all of this. I'm going to pull this out so that we're getting a better curve around. We'll do the same for this here. Maybe what we'll do is let's add a loop in between here just to reflect what we have above. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all this edge and let's go for a little bit of a bevel. It's not going to let us bevel that too much, so let's maybe go and increase this up here, maybe to 4, just to help smooth that out. Okay, it's not actually looking too clean, so I'm going to undo that. The reason it's not looking too clean is I just think because of the extra geometry down here. So maybe what we'll do instead of using that technique is if I just dial that back a little bit. So instead of using that technique, let's maybe just drop 2 inside here. So I'll drop 1 down here and maybe 1 over here, and then the same underneath. Okay, and then just the same, I'm going to grab these here, maybe just grab both at the same time, and we'll pull that out, just in the hopes to kind of offset the amount of curve that's in there. So if I hit 3 now, we'll see that that's looking a little bit better. It does look like here that we want to come out a little bit more, because obviously adding those extra details in there just made it a bit awkward. So that's looking a lot smoother, and I think we're going to want to do the same over here and maybe here as well. So maybe just add 1 more up here, and then we'll match that underneath. And we'll pull that out a little bit too. Maybe these ones can come in a little bit. Okay, I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to add another loop, maybe just in the center. Yeah, that looks okay. And let's go for the same here. And we'll grab all of this, and again, I'm just going to pull that out a little bit. Maybe what we'll do, let's go and insert an edge down here to match up there. Smooth that out too. So what we've done in there is we've just added more geometry, and the reason we've added that is just so that the lines that we do have in there, which are doubled up, aren't going to be so pointy, which is fine. We do want to add something over here. So I want to jump back over here. We do need another edge here because this is straight and it should be more curved. So we could try something here. Let's just try bringing a line over here. Something like that. Don't know how this will look. Hopefully it'll look okay. And that allows them to bring an edge in, and then we can connect that up. Like so. And then in my side view, I'm going to have a go here at bringing in a little bit of curve. Something that's going to make this go a lot smoother as we go down there. So I'm going to hit 3. So we can start to see how that's curving much better. We can also see how adding that extra line here hasn't done anything to hurt our geometry there, which is really good. So we can see how that's now curving and moving into there. So that's looking a lot better going down there. I think what we'll maybe do is here, is we'll maybe pull that out a little bit too. And maybe pull this one in a little bit as well. So you can see we're getting a lot more nicer curve down there, and then in the side that's looking pretty good too. So that's looking a lot better there, which is good. What we could maybe do as well, I'm just going to grab up here and just pull this out as well a little bit. Get a bit more curve just in there. I'm thinking that I might do the same here and here as we did down there. So let's go and drop in maybe 2 more edges here. One there, and then one in the middle here. Again, just to help soften the transitions between. So let's grab maybe all of this. We'll pull this out. Maybe grab this one too. And then this one as well. And then maybe this one's a bit too far out, so let's bring that one back. Something like that. So we see now how that's a much smoother, much less jaggy and much smoother, which is good. What we probably will want to do is let's reflect that in here as well. So let's grab our edge loops and we'll drop these in here and here. And we'll maybe drop one just here as well. That'll help that curve around a little bit. And let's just help that curve across here too. Something like that. Okay, so that's looking much better with those additions. I think what I'm going to do on here is this lower portion. Just going to pull this back a little bit more. Something like that. Again, just to help that run around with a bit more curve, so that's looking good. Okay, so let's then have a little think about our parking sensors, because we did stop at this point. So let's go and let's move these in. Let's just take away the smooth there. So we're going to take these in here. And do the same over here. And what we're essentially aiming to do is we are aiming to essentially mold this onto the body of the car. And the reason we want to do this is because we know this is going to be perfectly round, so it's going to look really sound as we go through. So I'm going to pull all of these on here. This is generally how I would model a door handle, so if you've seen any of my previous videos on my previous YouTube channel, on the 852, you'll see that this is how we used to add like door handles into places. We'll bring in something that's already curved, because it's obviously it's quite hard to make curves out of squares and triangles yourself. So we might as well get the software automatically generate that for us. So we'll bring this all in here. I'll go something like that. So that there is now roughly in the correct spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of the faces around here and get rid of those. And then I'm going to grab these edges here and we're just going to bring these in. It doesn't really matter where, but we'll bring those in like so. Okay. I'm going to get rid of all this excess. So we'll run around the back here, we'll get rid of that. And then what we're going to do with this is we are just going to hold down V, and I'm just going to snap this to all of the different points. Like so. And once we're happy with how that looks, that's looking good, I'm going to grab both of these and we're going to hit combine. And then we're just going to run around all these vertices here. I'm going to merge those together. Like so. So now if we hit 3 on the keyboard, we've got a nice circle there. And we can see that if we get rid of the wireframe, that's not really done anything to affect our existing mesh, which is good. So let's do the same with this one then here. So this one's going to be a little bit trickier because it's a bit more offset. So let's just grab all these vertices. And pull all these back here. Now again, it wouldn't be too tricky if we was to just use the area that we have and have a go at extruding in and merging all the points together. We would be eventually able to get a half decent circle in there, but just using a brand new mesh here is just going to make it that a little bit easier. Okay. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a better job of getting nice and close. Okay. Okay, so that's looking okay. So we're going to go do the exact same again. I'm going to get rid of these edges here. I'm going to grab these and pull them in. And then the exact same process, we're going to grab each of these and we're going to merge them onto the cylinder. Like so. Because we can see that one's got quite a bit of an angle to it. I'm going to get rid of the excess. And then the exact same process, we're going to grab both of these and we're going to hit mesh and combine. And then run around with a merge. Okay. And then once we've done that, we can hit 3 for another test and we can see that's looking good. And then again, we can see that's not done too much. Got a little bit of a circle there, but that's not a massive problem. A little bit of an imperfection, but we are going to be extruding these in anyway, so let's quickly do that. I do have quite a large reference image here, so you can kind of see. So what's going to happen with this one, if I can just swap the other screen around a little bit. So what's going to happen with this one is we are going to get all of the associated faces here. We're going to hit Control E. I'm going to go on the world and pull in just there. This one straightens out underneath. So it goes something like that underneath there. Maybe a little bit straighter than that. and then we're going to hit Control E again. Something like that. And then Control E one last time, and we're going to bring that a little bit back out. Okay, so I've got something going on inside there. Let's quickly grab all these edges. Let's just grab the whole lot inside here. If I can get there. Grab that one, and then the frontal. And let's go for a bevel on these. So I'm going to go Edit Mesh and Bevel. So maybe something like 0.8 and then just a double on there. Let's hit 3. So we can see that's looking really nice inside there. And then we're going to do the exact same process for our central one. Again, this looks like it's... I'm going to hit E. I'm going to go in on the world. And again, we're going to straighten this off. Extrude again. I'm going to take this down. I'm going to extrude again and bring this back out here. And then the exact same process, so we're going to grab all of the associated edges for this. Run around the other side. I'm going to hit bevel. And again, I'm going to maybe go to about 0.8 and then 2 segments. Just so it's nice and tight. And now we can see we've got nice sections in there for our parking sensors. Cool. So let's maybe grab these. I'm just having a look here. They look a little bit on the big side. So maybe what we'll do is we'll jump in. I'm going to grab all of these here and just maybe scale them in a little bit. Just want to make sure that I haven't ruined the offset. That's looking okay. Grab all of these. Take them down. Something like that. Okay, so that's looking a little bit better, a little bit smaller. Perfect. So let's go then, and we'll attempt here. What I'll do is let's maybe combine these two. So we'll go Mesh, Combine, and then we'll grab them again, and we'll say Mesh and Separate. Just for us to reset that pivot, and then let's go for a quick duplicate special across the way. What we could do as well is let's throw on our nice gold paint. And we'll hit 3. So we can see that now running across there is looking really nice. We've got pocket sensors in there as well for a nice little bit of detail. So that's looking good. Okay. We could continue then to work up here. So let's have a look up here. We did do a lot of work in regards to our vent area at the top, and we did make sure that we already had lines in place. So let's quickly add those in. I do believe it was about here, so let's just grab those. And it is going to run all the way down and around, so let's drop this in here. Okay, something like that. And then it looks like at the top here we also have another change, and it looks like it's this one here. So let's drop an edge loop in there, and then one around here. Okay, so that's looking okay. So let's grab those faces. And we're going to hit delete. do the same one here. Hit delete. And then we'll grab one here as well. And here. Okay, so now we've got those areas running there. So this is the carbon fiber kind of, looks like it's probably going to be for heat to exit the engine compartment. So the large fins in there. So we're looking good. Let's maybe think about smoothing some of this. Then we've got a couple more minutes of this episode. Let's maybe think about this section. Let's go to mesh and separate, because we're just going to edit this one here. Let's maybe separate all of these. I'm just going to hit G on the keyboard, so now all nice and independent. Let's have a go then. Let's have a go at this one. I'm going to grab all of these areas here, all these lines, but we don't want any of those central ones. So I'm going to hit Control E. And because it's a nice vertical piece, we'll be able to drop it down vertically. I'm going to go just a little bit, something like that. Okay, I'm going to hit 3 just to kind of see what it is we're working with. So, first thing we're going to want to do is we are going to want to sharpen this corner off. So let's drop a point down here. Dropping a point down there is going to allow us to insert an edge loop, which are going to run this full length. And let's maybe bring this point across here, because that's going to now allow us to insert another edge loop down here. And we can just fill in the gaps. Like so. But what we want to do with this is we want this to run down here. If I can get it. There we go. And then we'll want this one to run down here. Like so. Okay. And that means that we won't need that edge in the middle. So if I hit 3 now, we'll see that we've nicely maintained that corner and maintained those edges nicely too. I'm just having a look at my references, and this bit here looks like it's a nice smooth transition, but there is a little bit of definition there. This bit here as well that runs all around the top has quite a bit of definition. So let's drop a loop up here and hit 3. So we see that's running around there. That's got some nice definition to it now. I don't think it's going to be any sharper than that, so I think that 1 is going to be fine. I want to affect something we see on my mesh here. It might not be the same for you guys, but on my mesh this is sitting in a little bit too high. It's just causing a little bit of a bobble. Okay, and then I'm just going to take this one down as well, just to make that nice and smooth and gradual. Okay, so we can see that's dissipated a little bit. It's still there a little bit, so let's maybe have a little go at trying to offset that. Okay, so that's looking better around there, and then it looks like we want to do an edge down here, maybe about there, because we do want to give a little bit of definition at that point. Let's go for an edge around here, and then we'll go for one at the top as well. Okay, so hitting 3 on the keyboard, we can see that's looking quite nice. We've got a little bit of definition there, which is exactly what we want. So that's looking good. And the last thing we'll do then, one final edge loop. We'll run just under there, just so it's super nice and sharp. Cool, so let's go, and we can drop on here. And we can also duplicate that special, because that's looking really nice. It's definitely got the correct ridges in there, and we're getting some good definition at the points. Okay, so that's looking good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new layer, and this is going to be for the roof. So I'm just going to select the roof. I'm going to hit on this little icon here on my channel box editor, just so that I can show and hide that should I need to, because I think I am needing a little bit more information as part of my roof here, or the component that kind of makes up to the roof. So let's bring that out there. And let's just for now see that merge over here. Okay, so I'm just having a look to see how that kind of sits. So what happens is this curves around here. So what I think we'll probably want to do is we'll probably want to run another edge loop. Let's maybe have it reflect the same down here as well. So let's go and let's drop an edge loop, which is going to run something like that, and then we'll just have that match in here. Okay, so that's looking okay. And then that's going to allow us to grab this edge, and we'll maybe reposition this over here. And then with my transform constraint for my edge, what I'm going to do is we'll pull it back here. Something like that. Let's maybe extrude off of here, and then drop in a vertex on there, which we can target weld up here. So I'll have that kind of run off up over there. Okay. Because we are wanting this to curve around, something like that. But it does look like we want maybe a bit more of a curve. So let's bring this maybe a bit further over here, like that. I'll bring this back here. Okay, so that's a nice curve. That's going to run that round and down there. So that's good. That's going to allow us then to grab these edges and do the same. And then eventually we'll do the same with those over there, but that's looking okay just now. So if we hit 3 on here, we're going to want this to reflect the same. So maybe we'll have time to start this. So let's grab all these edges. I'm going to hit Control E. I'm going to bring these down just a little bit. Let's grab our mesh tools, insert edge loop, and what we can do is we do have a 5-sided shape here. That's okay. So what we'll do is let's maybe start down here and we'll drop a loop. I'm going to unsmooth this portion just so we can kind of emulate the geometry as we go down. So it looks like we want to drop a loop up here and at the top. Have another one down here as well. And the rest is looking good. Okay, so we want one going up here. Maybe I'll do one at a time. I'll go down there. I did see a little bit of a random edge loop in there, which matches nothing. So I'm going to grab that and then Control delete that because we don't need it. Okay, let's go for mesh tools again. I'm going to insert a loop around here and here. Which is looking fine. And then we do look like we want one up here too because of this edge. So let's go and bring one up here and around the corner. Okay, we might end up rerouting some of these lines, like for example this one. Let's zoom in, let's get rid of this. I'm going to hit Control and delete, and we could probably reroute that one over here. Something like that, just to make it a bit cleaner. So we'll hit 3. Let's hit 3 on all of these items here. And get rid of our mesh. So that's looking nice as we go up and around there. Yeah, that's looking good. Let's go for another edge loop down here. And then that's going to allow the facilitation of the trim around where the roof connects. I guess I think we'll stop there for this episode. I'm just going to quickly apply my gold material. Let's bring back in the roof, and then let's also quickly duplicate special. Alright guys, so we're looking really good now, starting to get some real progress across that top side, which is good. Hopefully in the next episode we'll get this area finished, we'll work down to the diffuser as well, so hopefully maybe 2 more episodes on body smoothing, and then we should be starting to thinking about adding some details. Alright guys, so if you enjoyed the episode, please hit the like button if you didn't, hit the dislike button, subscribe to the channel if you're new and want to keep up to date with everything else, and I will see you in the next one.